En route to Motion North. Let's do it! Hey. We're excited today. We're going to see Art and Graft. We're going to see Lobster. We're going to see a lot of people from our network over the years. Just fucking phenomenal people, really. And maybe a few cheeky beers, probably. few little beers. We're just meeting up with Esme, our designer now, and then we're going to head in and I'll film some of the talks and film some hot takes. But yeah, let's dive in. Hello, I'm with Winston from Tracks and Layers. He's the art director and senior animator. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. We're standing in the rain in Manchester because Manchester is rain, and we're at Motion North. And I guess I just wanted to ask you a quick hot take. What are your thoughts on the future of motion? Where are we heading with motion?
Not really a hot take, I guess. Probably more of this, like content creating.
Yeah.
That's what you do, isn't it? I don't know.
That is what I do.
I guess what I've been looking at is probably more motion branding, motion guidelines, stuff like that. I mean, I come from a character illustration background, and that's sort of dying down a little bit, and I can see it's heading to more motion graphics sort of side of things, which is sad, but also fun in a way. But I do miss the sort of character stuff. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. That still could make a big comeback.
It could come back, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. Maybe we're just ahead of the curve already.
Maybe. I mean, I like to say I am, but you know.
Thanks so much, man.
That's all right.
I'm here with Ben from Studio 91.
Hello.
We're here at Motion North, and I've got a quick question to ask you. A bit of a hot take,
Go
if
on.
you will. What do you think is the future of motion?
Okay, so I shoot video for a living, and I'm leaning into at the moment the human side of that. I think my kind of way of combating AI is leaning into the fact that it's all about truth. It's about real kind of human connections. So my, I guess, challenge to motion people, to people like you, would be how do you bring humanity and personality into what you do? How do you make it rough around the edges to make it something that only you could do and a robot never could?
Yeah, that's a good answer. And what do you feel like in sort of the film side of things is the future of motion there?
I mean, I don't know much about it, to be honest.
No, is it like with what you do in your specialty?
Are we calling that motion?
I was.
Because when you say motion, I just think of motion design, but you mean general.
I mean like general
Oh,
motion.
okay. I didn't think of an answer for that.
No, I like yours. We can keep yours to be fair.
Oh,
I
no,
know,
he
I
said he's
am
got to ask one
actually. I am actually. We can leave it there to be fair if you want.
Probably better.
Yeah. Hello, I'm here again at Motion North with Ben from BFH Creative.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank you.
We're hiding under a brolly from the rain. That's probably just go grab a beer. But before then, just want to quickly chat to Ben about what he thinks is the future of motion.
Yes, mate. So from the talks I've seen today, from what I've learned, is that motion is being brought forward as part of a branding process, but not as an afterthought. It's actually more of a first thought, as we've kind of chatted about. It's become more important to when you, certainly in branding and design, how does that brand translate and how does it move, and how does that movement represent a client or a firm or a feeling or a movement. And I think that's something that's being thought about at first stage and not later down the line.
Yeah. There you go. Motion first. And we're back from Motion North. That was absolutely spectacular. It was so cool seeing all the big sort of heavy hitters in motion there, like Lobster and Art and Graft, and just some really friendly faces as well. Although not too many friendly faces, quite a few people had hit the old sauce a little bit too hard on Thursday, and we're a bit too hungover apparently to make it on the Friday. So note to self, get 2 tickets next year so you can make both days, and anyone who can't handle it the Thursday night, I can at least see them doing Thursday day. But it was just spectacular. Great seeing a lot of friendly faces, and just having all of like Freight Island to ourselves was really cool as well. You'll have seen some footage that I've just put up on screen, and some interviews I've done with people as well whilst I was there, just asking them their opinion on the future of motion. But yeah, all in all, it was top notch. And I think the big thing for me that I really took from it was, if you were to summarize them into kind of 3 key points based off the chats I had with people that you've just seen, and to just summarize the whole event, I guess, is firstly, I'd say the big thing that I took away from it is how important motion is in the start of a brand process. Everything's moving now, nothing's static really. It's very rare that you see a static social poster nowadays and static anything. So video and motion and how you're going to animate your brand is critical from day dot. We as a studio are going to start to introduce a little bit more of that, I suppose, more like brand toolkits that work around motion, like motion brand toolkits, should I say, and just really dig into that a little bit more. The other big thing I kind of took from this, which is really nice, Ollie from Creative Spark really touched on this. I feel like Art and Graft touched on this as well, was just about staying creatively hungry. So this idea that, you know, running a studio or being high up in a studio or just being in a studio is really busy, and it's obviously you focus on delivering the best client work possible and maximizing their potential. But I think, you know, in a sea of AI and things like that, I think if you don't keep yourself creatively engaged outside of work, whether that's pursuing a hobby or an interest, I think the reason you need to do that is because it then feeds back into your work. I think, you know, the amount of times, even just for me, like I can think of numerous times where I've been doing like a brand project or something, and a game I once played, or, you know, a postcard I once like saw, or something like that that was outside of my workspace directly influenced the work itself. You know, and I think it's just really critical to get that time, because otherwise, I think it was Art and Graft that said this, you just end up drinking from the same Pinterest board well, like, as everyone else. You know, you look for inspiration and you just go on Pinterest, right? But if you're looking outside of Pinterest and trying to make sure you've got external, you know, input coming into you, then the results you'll get from that are going to be a lot richer at the end of it. And the final thing was about, obviously, AI that was mentioned, but, you know, in a really positive way, actually. I think everyone's still a bit scared of it, but I think it was really positive to see how massive studios are using it to just bolster the workflow and just get through some of the tedium of what they have to do. You know, it doesn't replace the craft. I think a lot of studios now are seeing it a little bit like when Photoshop came out. It didn't, you know, it obviously replaced the old tools, but it was just a new tool to be used. So that was really encouraging too, to just see that the big guys who should be scared of it are just not really necessarily embracing it, but trying to treat it like the tool that it is. None of it replaces human creativity. That's still the key of everything, and that's still a driving engine, but it's a tool to be utilized. And if you're not utilizing it, then it's slowing down your process. No different in a way than when Photoshop first came out, you know, compared to using a foam board or whatever you used to use, you know. And other than that, one thing I really enjoyed was the talk between Katie Cowan, Dave Sedgwick, Phase 37, and the digital director at Art and Graft, just about studio culture and sort of how things are moving at the moment. Art and Graft are very pro bringing people back into the office to teach and educate and to have your best ideas together. And I think there's some real truth to that. And then whereas Dave and, you know, Phase 37 talked about the sort of remote working aspect and how important that is. And I think the sort of what Dave mentioned about this happy middle ground, about having somewhere that you can close off and get your work done, but then still having the social aspect, is kind of the dream ideal. I think for myself, who's in Colony at the moment, I'm really enjoying Colony. I love going in there and working with two of the developers we work with who are really good friends of ours, and with Esme, our designer, and just meeting people in Colony is great, but sometimes hard to like lock in and get the work done really, unless you've got big massive headphones like I do, which is like a clear indicator that like I am zoned in here. But yeah, those are the kind of big things to wrap up, and that's the end of this month. So this is the fifth video that I've done. Just trying to walk you guys through my life and stuff at the moment, running the studio. February's been really tough. I'm not gonna buttercoat it. We had Esme off. I had to take some time away to go on holiday in Berlin, but also to look after my partner who was in hospital, who's absolutely fine. But that did make a big impact. It's crazy that I'm 2 months in, and when two people are down, it makes a difference. It really makes a difference. I found myself juggling a little bit more than I was prepared to do, but this is all really big learnings. So I'd say, you know, in the transparency of being honest with you guys, February was not the best month, work-wise, financially wise, because we just had to try and keep moving things along as best we could. With being just hands tied behind our backs a little bit at the studio. So, you know, some big learnings from this were certainly, I mean, we couldn't avoid the overlap of holidays, certainly, but I'm going to try and spread that out more. And we've made sure that that doesn't happen for the rest of the year. The processing systems we're getting in place now are going to ensure that we run even tighter than we currently are. But it's all growth and it's all learning, and I am loving this journey. It's been really good, and I'm really feeling really positive about March. We've got a lot of animation work come through. It's kind of surpassed all our other work now, which is kind of crazy. But like I mentioned in an earlier video, it kind of follows a little bit of a prediction I guess I had on animation there, which is wicked. So March is looking really positive. Very, very busy in the studio, but with some really, really fun projects that I'm excited to get out. We've also just done our landing page, like literally this week. Obviously, you're seeing this a couple of weeks ahead or whatever, but yeah, the landing page is out. The branding is finally starting to take shape, which is really good. And we're starting to really shake up, just shake up our visuals and kind of finally start to represent what we actually are, which is amazing. Yeah, we're going into more pitches, and I think that we're on this sort of real upwards trajectory now, and things are starting to stabilize, and we're starting to really get some strong processes in place. We've just revitalized our pitch decks as well. We're going to do all our other touch points. We're going to try and fully build the brand. We're going to be more present on social and post our work. I don't think I've posted any work since like 2023. So we're going to start to actually shout about our work a little bit more, and see you guys in March then. Cheers.